This is Analog Spectrum. I don't care what anyone says, Punky Brewster was a bitch.
Recording. All right, everybody. This is Analog Spectrum.
Check out that intro music.
You like that? It's still good, man.
Yeah, man. I hear you.
Dude, I tell you what, I love doing the intros.
Yeah.
I do. Everything about them.
Yeah.
The music, getting my wife to do the voiceovers, having her laugh at some of the stuff I write.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Tony.
Hey, guys. This is Doug.
Doug and Tony are coming at you. We're going to do a hodgepodge today.
Yeah.
This is officially the hodgepodge number 4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
4. Yeah, it doesn't. I can't even remember what they all were, to be honest with you.
There's some
lose track, I guess.
One of the things I did want to do, just throwing it out there, is do a bit of a podcast update where we are and whatnot. Not a whole lot, but just because we do it through Podbean. If anybody's curious, probably already know that. And so it gives you analytics, let you know how you're doing. And we've had 1,000 downloads. Yay.
Dude, we're just about to push out Joe Rogan. Get out of the way, Joe.
Well,
Here we come.
That guy's been texting me with some pretty freaking nasty stuff.
Yeah, he's annoying.
He is. He's like...
get off my cloud.
He says, you guys right now are 10,478 on the podcast list.
Yep.
I'm coming for you.
That's right.
It's embarrassing. But no, the podcasts that seem to do the best are the Coast Guard podcasts.
No kidding.
Yeah. Big time. Interestingly, also, I auto push the podcast to YouTube. It just does it for me.
Okay.
And we actually, I don't do anything on YouTube. Right. Like occasionally we'll be on YouTube and I'll be like, hey, I wonder what's going on with our podcast channel. And by the way, sorry, I'll mute my phone in a second. I'll be like, I wonder what's going on with our podcast. And we actually have followers on there. No kidding. And the two podcasts that have done the best are the John Cusack and the Rock L. Watch podcast.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. But not that, and when I say they did the best, it's all relative, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, dude.
We're not PewDiePie or anything like that, but...
I don't even know who that is, so that's good.
It's a YouTuber that at one time or another was quite the thing, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm looking it up right now as you speak.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
So there you go. But Doug and I have talked offline because and he knows that the Coast Guard podcasts seem to be somewhat popular. I think that's a direction we're going to go in. We're probably going to do a few more of those, but not just about us. We may bring other people on here to talk about their own Coast Guard experience.
Oh, I see us on here. Yeah.
Yeah. There we are.
I've never, just so anybody knows, I don't care for any, whatever. I so do not follow any of this. I show up, I do the podcast with Tony, we goof off, I have fun, and he does all the work.
All the heavy lifting.
I don't even think I've listened to more than 3 or 4 of them afterwards.
Oh, you should listen to them. They're great.
Well, it's not that. It's just that I just feel like I'm always busy. I'm always got a million things going, and if I'm in the car going from here to there, I don't have any of those apps. I don't use any of that. I don't know. I'm just, I'm a grumpy old fart, I guess. But
that's okay.
I like doing them. We'll just keep doing them. And
they're fun. If honest to gosh, I could make a living doing this, I would do it all day long. I'm worried because of they're out there now if you're listening to this one, but I'm worried that our Key West podcasts are going to be like, they're actually straight up, we were joking going into those like, oh, these things are going to be crazy and raw and rough. They're not. They're just us telling stories. But there's a couple stories in there.
On a lot of the stories.
We did,
I'm not into that whole thing where you like embarrass people or make people feel bad or any of that kind of stuff, man. This is like, all these stories were totally from our perspective, and it was in that time in our lives when we were like really exploring life in general, and all that crazy stuff happening. Yeah. So, and I'm sure it doesn't even come across in the podcast as impactful as it was for you and I.
No, and I will tell you, I think that we could have a 3rd and a 4th episode on Key West because there was a lot of stuff afterwards where I was like, oh, we should have talked about that. Right. And I completely agree. We didn't lean into it as hard as we could, and some of that had to do with I do think we talked about the drug and alcohol stuff. That kind of, when I'm listening to it in retrospect, I'm kind of like, well, I probably don't want to get into that too much. Right. We said we weren't going to name names, but we did name some names, whatever. Right. But we didn't give last names, and And we're a small podcast, so I'm not too worried about it.
Well, it's not so much that. It's, to me, it's out of respect. I mean, even if those people happen to stumble across this, one of the 5 people that listen to it, then, it's not, we're not trying to be disrespectful at all, but it was, just stuff that happened, man. Just, and the way you remember stuff.
Yeah. Well, and there is that, I know I come across as, I worry about offending people. I kind of don't, but I just don't want to deal with the headache of, like somebody emailing me telling me what an asshole I am.
Right.
But
I'm going to do that right after the podcast.
Yeah, you do that anyway.
Tony, you're such an asshole.
He does it anyway, everybody.
That's a lie.
Anyway, so probably going to be a few more Coast Guard podcasts out there.
Yep.
Okay, so other things, corrections real quick. Not really a correction, but it freaking cracked my shit up. Like when we were talking about the last Hodgepodge, we were like, you brought up Simon and Garfunkel, and I was like, oh yeah, you remember that song? There's one song on the album. I love it so much. It's about these 2 kids. They're on a bus. They're riding across America.
Because I didn't recall that.
And I must have said, like, in my description, like 15 times, like, they're... going through different parts of America, and then he's talking about in his song about how much, it's weird being in America. I can't remember the name of that song. I can't remember. You know what the name of the song is? America.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So America is that Simon.
That's pretty awesome.
Hey, it's a great song, and you need to listen to it.
Okay.
Also in Hollywood, we've recently had 2 of our 2 legends pass away. Robert Blake and Tom Sizemore.
It's funny. We're going to do an upcoming podcast on whatever happened to certain people.
Yep.
And Robert Blake was on my list.
Was he?
Yeah. And then I found that he passed away. I'm like, well, shit, that's not a very good update.
You probably could. You could probably talk about what got him to that point of passing away.
He was some interesting stuff in his life.
Sure was.
Yes. It's like the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. I think Robert Blake helped us live in interesting times.
Yeah, and Tom Sizemore too.
Yeah.
I kind of get him mixed up with Madsen, the guy from.
I was going to say Billy Madsen. That's
not Billy, but.
The guy from Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
And Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen, also in a few other Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
But,
speaking of getting people mixed up, I watched a movie the other day. So this is a hodgepodge. We're just going all over the place.
Yep.
I watched a movie the other day called This Is How It Ends. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
I have.
Who's the actor in there with the droopy eye, the black eye with the droopy eye? I always get him confused with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Whitaker.
Forrest
Whitaker, yeah.
Yep. And I always get him confused with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Wow.
And I know, they're not alike. They're not that, but for some reason, every time I see him...
Bald.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, yeah. So, that was an okay movie.
Yeah.
And
on the movie thing,
5 out of 10.
Okay, everybody, watch me dump gasoline on this fire.
Oh dear!
Did you watch the Academy Awards?
Hell no!
No,
are you kidding me? I wouldn't want. You could pay me to watch the Academy Awards.
No, I hear you. No, I didn't either. But it's interesting. The movie that won Best Picture. Let me see.
I don't even know who it is. Oh, the only thing I know about the Academy Awards is apparently Jamie Lee Curtis won something, and she's all ecstatic about it.
For that movie, she won, I think, Best Supporting Actress or actor, or whatever female.
It was like Knives Out or something. That's the only
no.
thing I know
she's been in. I need to look it up only because it's got a title that it's like Everywhere All at Once kind of title. But let me get that, and I don't want to mess it up.
No, you'll mess it up.
No, if I don't, if I don't look it up real quick. It was, well, the nominees were...
oh, yeah, some chick got pissed off because she didn't win, right? And, like, she didn't stand up.
Oh, I don't know.
When Jamie Lee Curtis won her award, I don't know. Whatever.
It was...
Who cares?
That's
all incestuous anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
We're going to get into that just for a second. I don't want to get... Because we do have a woke Hollywood episode coming up probably in a few months, but...
Okay, so this is outside of that topic, though. I just want to tell you, I've always hated the Academy Awards. Yeah. I've always hated the Grammys. It's just a bunch of these people standing around going like, hey, aren't we great? Look how awesome we are. The awards mean nothing. They mean nothing to me.
I was, honestly, I was going to, and not just to agree, I was going to say the same thing. They irritate me. Anyway, so the nominees were Woman Talking, didn't see it. Triangle of Sadness, no, didn't see it.
Never heard
Avatar, The Way of the Water was also, I did not see that either.
Me neither.
I'll wait for it to maybe come out on streaming.
We're not doing that as a review, Tony.
No, I don't. I'm just not a big fan of Avatar. Yeah. All Quiet on the Western Front.
I did not. I tried to watch that, and I just could not choke it down, man.
Yeah.
I didn't like the filming style is what I didn't like.
Yeah.
And that's what it's getting touted for.
Did you ever see,
I didn't like it at all.
Did you ever see 1917?
Same deal. I just didn't like the way it was filmed.
Oh, I love that movie. But I haven't seen On Quiet. Elvis, didn't see it. Tar, didn't see it.
Never heard of it.
I'm going to mess this up. The Banshees of Inisherin.
I actually heard of that, and something about that rings a bell that I was interested in it, but I don't have any information.
Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
And,
clearly we saw that.
We did see that, but I liked it. I did not think it was award worthy.
No.
It was good, though. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a popcorn movie.
Something called The Fableman.
All these were nominated?
They nominate more now.
Jesus.
And the last one that won was Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Everything you realize. Okay.
And I saw that on a flight. And it was one of those things. I often have experiences like this in my life where people are like, that is the greatest thing ever. You have to see it. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm on a flight here. You know, I'm definitely the ultimate, whatever you call it, like a captured audience. I'll watch it. I'm looking forward to this. Did not think it was all that good. It was okay, but it was.
Well, maybe that's the best they could put out, and that's why it won. Because everything else sucked worse.
Woke Hollywood, leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Maverick, no way in hell that was going to win.
Yeah,
and none of these movies, when I read about them, I am all that interested. I actually thought, what did I think was the best movie of 2022? And I didn't see a lot of movies in 2022.
Yeah, not modern,
maybe
fresh movies anyway.
No, I think I saw the one I'd probably give my award to would be Spider-Man No Way Home. I liked it a lot.
I know, yeah, you did like that.
I like that one a lot, but that's never going to win. But on the point of the Academy Awards, I completely agree with everything you say. I hate the fact, like one of the things that like Sally Field as an example got up there and apologized for being white. That makes me so angry because it's just
wrong. It's just flat out wrong.
It is. And then it's just a lot of virtue signaling. And these are individuals that make loads of money. You know, they're sitting there on their phones that are pretty much put together by child slavery, tweeting about how they're so virtuous, and they've got a gift bag sitting next to them. It's probably got 20 grand worth of shit in it, and they're so self-congratulatory. It makes me sick, and I've pretty much always felt that way. It's obviously gotten worse since but even as a kid, I was like, I can remember like as an 8-year-old, the Academy Awards coming on and thinking, oh, these must be important, but never really thinking much about it. Can't stand the Academy Awards. Yeah. It really
That's like me giving you an award. In fact, I'm going to give you an award.
Best
podcast?
podcast?
I'm going to give you an award. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm just going to give you an award. This
Thank
is
you.
it. Tony, Best Presenter, 2023.
I want to thank the Doug Academy.
Yeah. The Academy Award.
I want to apologize for being a white male. Your organization doesn't have
It's
enough
okay. You identify as a K9, so you're good.
We weren't going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? So we were talking before the podcast started. I bought a new laptop.
Yeah,
Yay!
new laptop.
I know.
Sweet.
I know. People are like, okay, push on.
Yeah.
But the one I have is like 7 years old. It was I bought it when I started my doctorate program.
But what is it with Microsoft, man? And I don't care what laptop you buy. If you're running Windows, like if you've had a Windows machine for 7 years, that bitch is slow. I mean, they slow down. I don't get it. Like, you can reboot it. You can do a whole fresh install of Windows, and that sometimes gets it better. But I don't know, man. Is it just perception? I don't know.
Well, there's a weird phenomenon anyway. You know, if you're even slightly tech savvy, and you kind of mentioned this is. It was definitely slowing down. And when I'm doing things like editing this podcast, it will start to grind a little bit. But I was getting the blue screen of death on things. And it usually when that starts to happen, you get the blue screen of death every 2 months, then every month, then every week, and then a couple times a day. I did start the process where I plugged in a hard drive and I backed up everything I thought was important. And then I was going to do a hard reinstall, like a total reinstall.
Fresh, Windows reinstall.
And I'm sitting there about ready to do it, and I'm just like, fuck this, because I'm going to lose shit when I do this. And I had this thought where This laptop is still working. It'll still have the shit on it. I'm just going to set it aside, buy this new one. And I did end up buying another Surface. I love the Surfaces. I just do. I think they're a great product.
My only problem with them is like you can't get in there and fiddle around with stuff. Like, we used to build PCs and you could, get a new graphics card, or you could put a sound card in it, or, add Bluetooth capabilities. But of course, it comes with all that. But, you can't customize it really.
That's why the one you buy needs to be a beast.
Yeah, exactly.
And which is what I did.
Yeah.
I can't help myself. But ended up costing me after
a lot. Just say a lot.
A lot. It cost a lot.
Yeah.
Comparatively. I mean, I can get a piece of shit laptop.
Right.
But I like the way they are.
Yeah.
And I just won't buy a Mac product. I won't.
No, same here.
Yeah. And if people are like, why not? Well, that whole thing about like, oh, Macs don't get viruses and PCs get viruses. That ship sailed.
That's
long
gone.
That's gone. But as far as quality goes, the Surface, the one I had, the 7-year-old one, if it wasn't for the occasional blue screen of death, the thing would still be bulletproof. It would be.
It's funny because I don't have any problem with the quality of Apple products. I think they make good stuff.
Sure, of course.
I don't like the fact that they handcuff you into their ecosphere. If you try to do anything, that's what I don't like.
Yeah. I also again, I don't like the whole. We're and this is giving away a lot of how I feel. We're virtuous. You're not.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not. Yeah. Your product. Even like why do I use a Samsung phone? It's made in Korea. Okay, the parts are made in Korea. It's not put together. The chip comes from Taiwan. Great. Okay. Apple uses products that come from China. That's the truth. And I can't support that. I can't. So, and same with Mac. I can't support that. It bothers me. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, and I know I'm pulling a Sally Field right now. I fucking get it. Okay. Because the truth of the matter is you can't live in this world. You're going to be bumping into shit that's made, in probably dark ways. And if you knew everything, you wouldn't sleep at night. Yeah. But with that said, that's one thing I do know, and I'm just not going to. But see,
that's the thing. That's what's beauty about our system is that as the consumer, you get the choice, right? You have the choice. And I'll be frank with you, the best phone, no joke, the best cell phone that I've ever had was a Windows phone. And the operating system was great. It was fast. Cortana, when they had that on there, was the best voice assistant, way better than Siri or Google or whatever's that chicken name, Alexa. Yeah. And this was years ago, 2014, I think. And I could have my phone sitting in the car and basically just converse with it. I could say anything, call mom, give me directions to this, kind of like you can do now. But at that time when it was out, you couldn't do that with those other apps. They didn't have the functionality. They didn't understand you half the time, or they misheard you. And so it was a great phone, but Microsoft makes good stuff, but their marketing department sucks. Yeah. I'm surprised they've lasted as long as they have with the Surface. Yeah. I really am. Because I had one when they first came out. I was an early adopter. Me too. And I liked it a lot, and I still like it. But that phone, I mean, I've had two of them, my two Microsoft phones, and they were both awesome. And but, less than 1% of the market share, they just stopped making them. It's like, oh, thanks.
You were an adopter of Zune. You had a freaking Zune. Oh, man.
The Zune, again, same story. Zune was the best MP3 player ever. It was the first thing that I am aware of that came out with a QLED screen. So the screen was stunningly beautiful. And this was like 2010 or something. I mean, it was a long time ago. But yeah, it was great, man. And they had a little feature on there. Again, they were all the stuff that you see nowadays. Microsoft kind of pioneered a lot of that. And one of the deals was, if you logged into the Zune sort of atmosphere or whatever you call it, you got a free song every month, and you didn't have to pay for any of it. It wasn't like a streaming service. You could buy music and download it onto your Zune and listen to it anywhere, but you didn't need an internet connection to do it. You needed obviously to download, but you could play then music and whenever you went. But every month you get a new song, and it was a way to kind of like introduce you to new music. And I think they had a couple that you could choose from, if I remember correctly. But yeah, same deal, man. It just went away.
I know.
I still have that thing, and it still works. I mean, this is I can't even tell you how old it is. I even still got the original box that it came in, the whole thing. And I don't know, maybe in 30 years I can sell it as a relic.
I will tell you. Well, I still have an iPod. So I guess I'm full of shit. But I did buy an iPod early on. I still have it.
But when that's the thing, and because when the Zune was available, it was expensive. It was not cheap, and so a lot of people didn't buy it. And the iPods, they priced them really well, and so they became really popular really quickly.
Yeah, I liked it.
I just don't like iTunes.
No.
It drives me insane because they take all of your whole music library and copy it and repeat it in their format. And I'm like, I don't want that. I was doing lossless media for a while, so I wasn't using MP3s because they're compressed. But yeah, so what do you call it? Apple doesn't support that. Well, they didn't at the time.
Right. What else is going on right now? I just got done doing jury duty.
Oh yeah, how was that experience?
Not bad. But
it's your civic duty, pal.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I got out of jury duty once, where I literally tried to get out of jury duty. Because I really felt this way, and that was, it was a murder case in Colorado Springs. And,
really?
Yep. And it was right in the middle of COVID. So you had to go in and everybody sat 20 feet apart, whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So they handed us all papers to explain what the case was. And I'm not kidding you, man. I read this paper and I looked at the dude. I'm like, guilty.
Yeah.
I was like, no way, man. And so I told the judge when they went around, and asked if anybody had a reason. So I raised my hand and said, listen, I've made up my mind already. And I was in law enforcement doing Coast Guard and the boardings and stuff,
Right.
And I can't be impartial. There's no way. And judge said, excused.
Right.
So
cool. Well, I didn't have to get into the case area. I just had to go down there, and I was placed in a pool. Oh, okay. Okay. So I did actually go into a courtroom, and I thought, okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. This is the third time I've done it here in San Antonio, and San Antonio is such a big metropolitan district that it's they ended up selecting so many people. I don't know, 1,000, something like that. And the other two times I've done it, I think what I don't like it is kind of the great unknown. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, I feel kind of bad. I know Melanie will probably listen to this podcast, but I'm like a big baby getting ready for it. And she's even like, well, you have a good day. And I'm like, yeah, well, you can fuck off, right? And she's like, I know she's like, God, I married a dick. I'm like, I'm sorry, baby. But anyway, I don't like that it's, and honestly, that's not too far from the truth. I was like, I don't want to do this, but when you get down there, it's no big deal. Everything is pretty smooth.
Well, I always look at it. So I've done it a couple. I had to sit on actually on the jury, and no joke. I mean, I say that in jest a little bit, but I really do feel like it's your civic duty. Because if I was the guy sitting there on trial for some crap, especially if I didn't do it, I would be like, hey, I want good, upstanding citizens to sit here and really listen to this thing and listen to my case,
Right.
Because I think
I don't.
We owe it to society.
I agree.
Do that. Otherwise, you know what? Screw it. Just let the judges do it, and then just turn it into communist. Whatever.
We don't want.
No, I mean I don't mean that like the big communist thing, but I mean where the government actually decides your fate rather than a jury of peers.
No, I think it's a great system. Yeah. But like I said, the big issue is the unknown. I don't like going down there, and so they put you in this big room, and then they start saying, and they have it dialed in. I can tell you straight up, San Antonio.
Well, they do it a lot, right?
Yeah, but but let's be honest. There's lots of bureaucracies that do shit a lot, and
true.
They constantly fuck that shit up. It seemed like they bring you in, they get you in, they swear you in. The judges actually came in, read, gave us a list of instructions. The guy was actually pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But lots of times I've been down there and I'd never get called even for a panel, right? Mm-hmm. I sit there the whole time. You're just like, oh, and we're going to do a panel of 45 and I'm waiting. My name doesn't get called. Mm-hmm. But this time, no shit. I was the second person called for a panel of 75. I go up there. There's a woman on the right, on the left of me, on the right of me. We're sitting in the hallway for a while. They're nice people. We're talking. There was one guy, no joke, sitting across from me. He was in a different panel. No exaggeration, no hyperbole. Homeless motherfucker, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh God, I swear,
Looking
he's
rough.
like. I mean,
They delivered his jury summons to the bench outside.
And he's like, and every now and again he's going like, I don't mind eating pigeons or whatever. And I'm just like, all right. I think he was lost. That's no joke. He was dressed like in what looked like a Met satin jacket, and it was just crazy. Anyway, but the guy sitting next to me, we're talking, and it just like out of the blue, he goes, you ever wonder what penguin tastes like?
Oh, Jesus.
And I said to him, I looked at him, I go, hey, if we go in there for the panel and the lawyer starts talking to you, open with that.
Yeah, that'd be a good opening question. Yeah.
I'm like, that's what you need to say. Yeah. What the hell? No. And the woman sitting on the other side of me, he didn't even ask her, and she's like, no. I don't even work. And he wasn't that kind of guy. Right. He was clearly like, anyway. So yeah, crazy. I did that. I got through that. Okay. Other stuff.
Hey, we're getting some rain. Finally rain. Finally getting some rain.
I know. It's supposed to really pick up tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
That's good, man. We need the water.
So mentioned, you ready for this? Totally off topic. Go. Had my nose hairs waxed.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm not really sure I want to hear about this.
No, it was freaking amazing.
All you need is the cowboy hat and the glamour shots, and you're rolling.
Dude, honestly, I will take the criticism because it was the greatest thing ever.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah, it's okay. I would not force you to do it, but let me tell you.
Damn straight you will.
Okay, so just take
I got a pistol.
Kind of to explain. Okay. Probably like 2 or 3 years ago, because Melanie does things to kind of pamper herself. Lots of women do. She gets a pedicure and manicure and all that.
Pulling out your freaking nose hairs with wax is not pampering.
Honest to gosh. Let me finish. Let me fucking finish, Doug.
I'm just prejudging. That's all. Go ahead.
So unlike you. So she bought me a one-time gift card because now there's men's grooming salons that are
that's what they call them,
dude. You don't know. You're fucking dude. You're definitely your father's son. Anyway, no, they do things like,
Melanie, is this your wife?
If anybody doesn't know me, I shave my head. So it's kind of cool to go someplace where they, pull out a straight razor and shave your head and all this kind of stuff. And usually, and I'm going to be fully honest here, usually it's by a young, attractive woman, and they do all kinds of stuff. And I kind of did it off and on, occasionally I'd be like, yeah, sure. And it's nice, honestly. It's nice to have your head shaved with a straight razor.
Okay.
And
how about your neck?
Everywhere. They do everywhere. They do everything. Shoulder up. Anyway. So one time, the last time I went, she actually is a barber.
Okay.
Because I asked,
it's good to ask questions of people standing there over you with a straight razor in their hand. It's good to ask us some appropriate questions.
I don't think it would be a good strategy to slit my throat.
Yeah,
anyway,
right. You seen them cowboy movies where they kill people? Anyways.
No, but I said when I made the appointment, there's all kinds of groomers in here, but you were the only one that did this straight razor shave. And she said that as in Texas, you actually have to be a licensed barber to use a straight razor.
Well, that's interesting, but I want to back up to the part that you just said.
What's that?
Because you said there's lots of groomers in here. I told you that you identified as a canine. I told you, man.
So basically, then she put me in a box and
you a dog.
Had blue hair on me.
You a dog.
Then she gave me a little cookie.
Did she scratch your butt? Did she scratch your butt?
Yes, but I had to pay an extra $5 for it.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Anyway, no, she did the straight razor shave, and then, can I trim? They do all kinds of stuff. Right. And then she goes, hey, because she trimmed the hair around my mustache. And
that says suck. You're getting old when they go, you want me to trim your eyebrows? And you're getting old, dude. Yeah, and your ear hair. Yeah,
well, I also hate every now and again when you're like old people talk where you're
like now.
Yeah, where you're driving or something like that, or you're trying to do something that requires concentration, and one eyebrow hair is fucking with you, and you're trying to grab it. So, but anyway, so she goes, hey, you ever thought about getting your nose hairs waxed? I was like, hell no. And she goes, it's not that bad. And so I did set it up, and it wasn't bad. She just, put wax up there and rip. But I gotta tell you, at first I didn't know what to expect. It is the greatest thing ever. It is literally the greatest thing ever for what you do. It is. She did my nose hairs and my ear hairs. It didn't hurt. Not a lot. So
okay. Anyway, yeah.
Go ahead, ask.
I'm just not. I can't fathom a time when I would request somebody to do
Well,
that.
I do trim my nose hairs. You know what I mean? And occasionally get like a wild one. You know, and
Well, maybe that's the issue because I am not a hairy person. Like
that's true.
I don't, you can't even see it from here. But I've been shaving 3 days.
Yeah, Doug has a body like a 10-year-old boy. It's weird.
Face, anyways.
He's wearing tough skins.
That's it. Garanimals, thank you.
I know. I saw you did a hippo with the giraffe
Yeah,
today.
the hippo
You're
and
crazy.
giraffe. I'm stretching,
What
buddy.
are you doing?
Yeah, but
Hey,
no, I
it-
just again,
Yeah,
I know I'm
okay.
busting your balls, but
That's
at
cool.
the end of the day,
I wasn't expecting anything less. Honest to God, was not. I knew when I wrote that on my list, I was like, here we go, baby.
Yeah, you and I have known each other long enough to know
Yeah.
that you know what you're doing. You write
Of course.
that down.
Yeah, no, dude. But again, I want to tell the world, for everybody out there that's not freaking living in the freaking dark ages like Doug,
Yes.
get your nose hairs waxed. You're going to love it.
But my question is, like, how do they polish? If they wax and polish?
Dude.
Yeah,
Well, it's
anyway.
funny because there was that whole fear, like, yeah, I saw the Steve Carell 40-year-old version.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. I mean, it's not comfortable, but I would rather have that done than have somebody grab like one nose hair and slowly pull it out. Yeah. So
Anyway.
yeah.
All right. Well, so there's that. There you go.
Yeah. Get it done.
Recommendations by Tony.
And switching gears again, we're doing work on our house.
Oh, geez. Let's bring that up, shall we?
Because of you.
Man,
Open it up for you,
I'm
bro.
tired, man. I'm like, yeah, that's one of my issues, and this is why I struggle sometimes to get over here to do these podcasts. 'Cause, man, the work you should see our house now. You guys were
seen it.
over.
Yeah.
No, you since then you
Oh,
should
wow.
see. Gosh, man, it's just a lot. It's a lot, and cabinets get delivered in a couple days. And that's going to fill up the entire room until we get them all put in. But we've literally painting everything. We've removed all items from the house, painting the ceiling, painting the walls, all new trim, painting all the doors. They were just flat wood, just plain old wood. And we've primed them and sand them and paint them and on and on and on. But anyway, yeah.
This whole house, man.
Yeah, it's kind of it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's tiring, man. I work all day and then I come home and then you try to get 2 or 3 hours worth of work in there or something. But
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, I paid somebody to do our floor.
Yeah.
But it initially it was because I just don't have the bandwidth or the drive to do that. But it ended up being the right thing to do because
well, so on an individual project like that, I would probably go the same direction.
right.
But we have too many. I mean, we had a
get it.
quote. We got a quote, dude. The guy wanted $20,000 to paint the inside of my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think so.
You can't do it.
I don't even have $1,500 into the paint.
Well, I'm just about ready to do my bathroom, and I'm having to take a loan out for that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I have no choice. You know, I mean, I guess I do have a choice, but
You can hire me.
well, also, I mean, I don't want to zero out my accounts.
Yes,
you know
of
what I
course.
mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, I have done home repair projects. We've talked about this. Part of it is, and the floor is a prime example. Once they got into it, it was more of a job than
you realized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they realized, and so having those guys in made it.
Well,
made
your
it
floor looks
possible.
awesome, though. It does.
Thanks. Yeah, it does look good.
It looks great.
Yeah, we really wanted that. Also, another note. Susie's in the room with us today.
Susie, she does not snore like Lucy, but
Little
she's
bit.
just as cute.
Yeah, she's definitely found her place. So, all right, we're about 30 minutes into this. Do you want to do a quiz?
Oh, quiz me, man.
Okay, I
Quiz me.
actually I overachieved.
As long as it's not spelling.
No.
Okay.
I got 2, and I maybe get through both of them. I got. I'm going to tell you what they're called. I made 2. Okay. And one is called Tupac, Celine, or Elvis.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, and the other one is called Dropping a Deuce. I think I would rather do Dropping a Deuce first.
Let's do it, man.
I felt
I'm
like
up for anything.
No, I felt like I had to overachieve on this because your album stuff was great.
Okay.
It was really good.
I got another one I'm developing right now for you. So for the next hodgepodge.
Okay. And I wanted to stay away from to kind of tell you what they are, but we're going to do Dropping a Deuce first.
Okay.
And if we have time, we'll do the second one. If not, we'll I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what they are.
Okay. Don't tell me. Just go. Just hit me
so,
blind.
So
man.
what Dropping a Deuce is I have a list of the top 10 television shows by season, 1976 to 1986.
Okay.
Okay. So 10 seasons.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 3 shows for each season. and by Nielsen rating, okay, I want you to tell me which one came in second.
Okay.
Okay, in this list, when I give you the top 3, none of them are going to be number 1. Okay, so you're not. So it's either going to be 2 through 10.
2
all
through
right.
10. Okay. All right.
Okay. And the reason I didn't want to go 1 is usually number 1's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to start in 1976.
Okay, 1976, and this is Nielsen rating television show.
And if anybody's curious, the way Nielsen's, if you've never heard of Nielsen's or you're wondering the way Nielsen's work, they put a box in people's homes. I think it was 25,000 families, and they may have been Nielsen's. I think they were Nielsen's, at least initially. And this is way different because this has probably all changed since streaming started happening.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it's by percentage. Okay.
Right.
So
how many people watch ABC or MDC or whatever? Yeah.
Exactly. And I do have the percentages here. So
okay.
So
okay.
All right.
But
so
now of course their analytics are crazy.
Hey, who knows?
I'm
Right.
going to interrupt you real quick.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, for those people that don't know, when you stream stuff now through, let's say you have a cable provider, and you go on Netflix and you're streaming Netflix, and then you watch your shows or whatever, and then you go off onto your computer later and you're looking for a Ford F-150, whatever, maybe just on ad, whatever, and you're looking for an F-150, I guarantee you that the next time you stream, any commercials that are coming up are going to be Ford commercials.
Yep.
So they track what you're searching for via your cellular device when it's connected to your Wi-Fi, as well as your home computer that all goes to that same company. They track all that stuff, and then they target ad you.
Well, earlier you were talking about virtual assistants, you know. Of course, I do have
the same thing.
Yeah, well, I do have an Alexa in the house, right? And I do wonder sometimes, like I get pop-ups.
You can stop wondering.
Yeah, they're on me.
The shadow is real. Yep.
Yeah, that's
true. So anyway, sorry, that was
conspiratorial.
Yes. Well, no. It's that's how they make money.
Of course.
And so that's all fine. My only real problem with it is that I don't want to see that stuff. Just because I look at an F-150, I don't want to see F-150 stuff. I could have been looking that up for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so it's
me
not
and
a very
Melanie,
good system in terms of like targeting.
Yeah. Me and Melanie play word games every morning. That's what one of the old people thing we do. And it's we always in that word game there's advertisements, you know, and they're almost always linked to Amazon, right? And of course, you know, me and Melanie share an Amazon account, but you know, she'll buy like makeup. Right. And then sometimes I'll be playing that word game and my thumb will accidentally click that makeup and I'm just like,
yeah, I know.
Shit.
It drives me crazy
because now it's going to take it to the next level.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so.
Anyways, okay, sorry for that digression.
No worries. Yeah.
Here we go.
So, yeah, but you're like I told a person one time, if you think it's free, it's not free.
It is not free.
You're the product, bro. You are the product.
That's Facebook's big deal.
Yep. So
they sell you like crazy. Anyway,
okay.
Moving on.
All right. So first list. Okay. So 1976 and 1977. Okay. Which one was number 2?
Looking through my
and
memories here.
And remember, you'll know the shows. Yeah. And remember, none of these are number 1.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
understood.
So MASH, Beretta, or Laverne and Shirley. Which one was number 2?
1976.
76, 77.
I'm going to say Laverne and Shirley, I think, just came out in 76, if I'm not mistaken. So, this is going to have to be a guess, but I'll say MASH.
Okay.
My favorite of those 3 was Beretta, but...
Right.
Anyway.
Get it.
Yep.
Okay. 1977 to 1978.
Okay.
And if you would like, I can, I'm just going to do 3.
That's fine.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
that's fine. Yeah.
1977 to 1978, All in the Family, Three's Company, Happy Days.
77. Yeah, Happy Days was still young. Oh, shit, I don't know. Maybe Happy Days. I can't remember when that came out because Laverne and Shirley was a spin-off of that.
Good point. Look at him using logic. That's pretty good logic.
I'm logic moding it here. Tell me what they are again. Sorry.
All in the Family, Three's Company, Happy Days. Which one dropped the deuce?
Drop the deuce. All in the Family.
You say All in the Family was
All
number
in the
2?
Family. Yep.
Okay.
I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, eat it.
Great show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny.
78 to 79.
Okay.
Mork and Mindy, Taxi, Three's Company.
Taxi.
Taxi.
I'm surprised that wasn't number one.
Okay.
Might have been in a different year.
All right. Okay, 1979 to 1980.
Okay.
That's Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The Jeffersons.
Mm-hmm.
Three's Company.
Three's Company.
Which one dropped the deuce?
Drop the deuce. I'm going to say That's Incredible.
That's Incredible.
That is absolutely deucely incredible.
All right. And you do remember these shows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah, I love That's Incredible. I don't know how popular it actually was, but
I do
liked
too.
it. Yeah.
They had the real people on like the other channel.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Well, that's why I'm thinking number two, because I think it was like a sleeper kind of a deal. You know what I mean? It wasn't heavily advertised like some of these other shows, but I think it was popular.
Yeah, John Davidson and Fran Tarkenton. I can't remember the female that was on there too.
Fran Tarkenton, gosh.
God, I know, right? So, 1980 to 1981, Dukes of Hazzard, The Dukes of Hazzard,
The Dukes of Hazzard.
MASH, or House Calls.
Oh, I don't remember House Calls.
Yeah.
I know Dukes of Hazzard was freaking popular, man. I'm going to go with that.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah. MASH by the 80s. I don't know. Maybe it's like, wait a minute. Let me rethink that. Because I was a kid. 80, I was probably in 9th grade, 10th grade. Nah, I don't think MASH. I think still Dukes of Hazzard.
You're going to go with Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah.
Your final answer.
Daisy.
Okay.
Daisy wins
Oh, man. Yeah. 1981 and 1982 season. Alice. Too Close for Comfort. 60 Minutes.
Oh, 60 Minutes. Yeah. Too Close for Comfort was, I think that was like a popular show, but I don't think it was.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong.
These are all in the top 10.
Yeah, okay,
they're all
but I don't think it was that high.
I got you.
That'd be my guess.
Ted Knight, though, man.
Yeah.
Love
okay.
that guy.
Yeah,
Love that guy. He was the best part of Caddyshack.
Yeah,
He was. So,
he was, yeah.
Okay, 1982.
Sorry, I'm just running some Ted Knight lines through my head in case well, I'm no slouch either. Don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a hell of a slouch.
Heck of a slouch, yes.
Anyways.
He was the best bad guy ever, man.
When he's all like, shit, this is fucking funny, man.
Oh, my gosh, man. We could revisit those movies. We should revisit the best comedies. So,
Bet you were something before electricity.
This thing still has marks where the jockey was hitting it.
All right, what's next?
Right,
Wait a minute, 81?
82 to 83.
80, what was that one, 81?
That was 81 to 82.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
That's fine. All right, 82 to 83. Magnum P.I., Dallas, Simon and Simon.
Dallas.
Okay.
I never watched Dallas, but I know that shit was popular.
Man, my mom
my wife, she loved it.
Did you really?
She still
Shelley?
talks about Dallas.
No.
How's that?
Oh, okay.
It's one of the few shows they got in apartheid South Africa. It's because everybody was white. All right, I guess.
Dude, it's so interesting. Like when you said that, I was like, really? Yeah. Oh, shocker. All right. 83 to 84.
Okay.
Cagney and Lacey. 60 Minutes. The A-Team.
I'm going to go 60 Minutes again.
Okay. All right.
I've been watching the A-Team from start to finish.
Really?
On Roku, yeah. Actually,
Wow.
I put it on for the bird when he's home by himself. And then, of course, I come home when it's on, and I'm like, oh, hey, face. Let's sort of watch, whatever.
All right. 84 to 85.
Okay.
Dallas. The Cosby Show. Family Ties.
84 to 85. I'm trying to think now. I was just in the Coast Guard. Probably didn't watch much TV. Family Ties, is that
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
That one. I'm going to go with that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Family
go
Ties,
with that.
okay.
Yeah. I probably got 0 correct, but whatever.
All right. I forgot to draw this one out for 80. I guess it's 86, 87. Did I say that?
85 you're at. That was 84, 85.
Okay. 83, 84. So this is 80. No, that was 84, 85. So this is 85, 86.
Okay.
Okay. Murder, She Wrote. 60 Minutes.
Okay.
Family Ties.
Oh, shit. Murder, She Wrote. 86?
Yep.
85, 86?
Yep. 85, 86.
Yeah. I don't know, Angela, man. She was rocking it. I'm going with it. I'm going with
Murder,
it.
She Wrote. Okay.
Yeah. Because that was a mega popular
You're going to
show.
break away from a 60 Minutes freaking...
Yeah, I know 60 Minutes did good. It really did. It did really well for a long time, but...
Yeah. All right. You ready for the results?
Let's hear it.
Okay.
That's how abysmal.
Yeah. Okay. So I can... Yeah, before we get started, let me tell you how you did. Just I'm going to tell you how many you got right.
Yeah, okay. How many did we do altogether? 5?
10.
10 altogether. Okay, yeah. The teacher over there's grading my papers.
That's what I do.
Shit, put the red pen away, Tony. Put the red pen away.
I did use red. Okay, so you got 4 right.
I got 4 correct. I have 40%.
Right. Okay, so number 1, your choices were Laverne and Shirley, MASH, or Beretta.
Mm-hmm.
You chose MASH. Mm-hmm. Number 1 was Happy Days.
Happy Days, okay.
And number 2 was Laverne and Shirley.
Okay, they just came out. I was surprised because they just came out in 76, didn't they?
I have no clue.
I think it was. I think it might have been their first year.
Yeah. Yes. You chose MASH.
Yep.
And Laverne and Shirley was number 1.
Okay.
Okay. And Laverne and Shirley had 30% of the viewing audience.
Wow, that's pretty
good. And
good.
Happy Days had 31.5.
Wow.
MASH had 25.9.
Okay.
And number...
1976, January 27, 1976, that came out.
Or Laverne and Shirley?
Laverne and Shirley, yeah.
Right,
I knew it was
right to the top.
Yeah,
right
straight to the top. That's crazy, man.
It's actually a good show.
Yeah, well, Penny Marshall was freaking amazing.
Yeah, both of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
It was funny because I actually do remember the episode of Happy Days they were on. Mm-hmm. And they kind of played like kind of...
Like Fonzie's girlfriends or something,
they were
right?
Fonzie's girlfriends, but they played kind of loose women.
Yeah.
And, of course, they changed that up for the series.
Yeah.
Okay. 1978, 79.
Hold on. I got trivia for you right in the middle of all of this.
I know.
Because we're talking Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
What was their word for sex?
Whoopee?
Nope.
What?
Vodio-do.
Oh, vodio-do?
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's something because I couldn't say sex.
Yeah, I know. So,
the old vodio-do? Yeah. So, where the hell did that come from? I always thought that was a funny word, man. So anyway.
Yeah, don't do that while we're having sex kind of stuff. Right?
No. It's like vaudeville. Take my wife, please. Yeah,
we're done
all
here.
that shit. Yeah.
70 and 79. By the way, Doug and I don't have sex.
Well, not that I know of.
Get out of my head, bro.
Yes.
All right. 78, 79. The choices were Three's Company, Mork and Mindy, and Taxi. You chose Taxi. Taxi was actually number 9.
Holy mackerel.
Three's Company was number 2.
Okay.
Yep. Laverne and Shirley was number 1.
Wow.
Mork and Mindy was number 3.
Okay.
Laverne and Shirley was still held at 30.5, and Three's Company was close behind at 30.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a popular show.
It was.
Sure, yeah.
Was it Suzanne
Summers?
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
She was something.
Yep.
Of course, she asked too much, and they fired her.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't hot enough to get pants named after her, like the chick from Daisy Dukes.
Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. So, there's that.
I can't remember her name either.
Ugh, me either.
But she was actually, it's funny, she was not young when she did that show.
Yeah.
But gosh, it'll come to me later. All right, everybody, this is the editing Tony, and Daisy Duke was played by Catherine Bach, and I just said that she was a little bit older when she played Daisy Duke, but technically that's not true at all. She was born in 1959, and so during the first season of Dukes of Hazzard, she was actually 25 years old. If you do the math, which I did. So anyway, that's all. Back to the podcast. I'll research it. So 79, 80. I said Three's Company, That's Incredible, and The Jeffersons. You chose That's Incredible. The correct answer is Three's Company.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, 2 in a row. They held it. They held the spot.
That's crazy. I didn't think they were that popular.
I guess the 26.3, but That's Incredible was 25.8. Real People is not on the list.
Oh.
The Jeffersons were number 8. Dukes of Hazzard's on this list, but it was number 9.
You know what's funny about that Three's Company thing? That's one of the reasons, I guess this supports the theory that people are stupid. as a group. I mean individuals, but as a group, people
supports the theory that people are stupid.
Yes. Well, because
I don't know why you're not a researcher.
Because that show literally had the exact same plot every single episode. A miscommunication happens. Somebody hears something incorrectly, and the landlord, thinks that the boys and the girls are sleeping together. Some shit like that happens.
Right.
Same thing every single episode.
You mean Three's Company? Yeah.
Three's Company.
Oh, yeah.
Every single episode.
It was all about a double entendre. There was like one episode I remember as a kid, like they were like, for some strange reason, like Janet and what was John Ritter's character's name? Jack.
Jack, yeah.
They're in the bed. They're in the bedroom and they're making the bed, right? And of course they're like, saying stuff like, I can't get it in, and all this kind of stuff. And
somebody
like
hears them from the closed
Mr.
door.
Roper's
Mr.
outside,
Roper,
and he's like, "Oh my God, they're in there having sex."
Yes.
And you're right. Well, I was even going to mention you, or I think you picked MASH, or we're kind of wavering on like MASH the later years, which was however many seasons it was on, like 10, and it was about a war that lasted 2 years, right?
Yes.
And by the time it got towards the end, you're like, it's like, this week on MASH, Colonel Potter has a toothache again, and you're kind of like, oh my God, get the fucking tooth pulled, Colonel Potter. But
then they changed cast several times throughout that, and it just got like, blah.
Yeah, I've tried to go back and like revisit MASH. It's nostalgic. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, at this point I won't. After watching the movie you made me watch, I'm done.
No doubt. We already did That's Incredible. Okay, now we're on 80 to 81, and the choices that I gave you were Dukes of Hazzard, MASH, and House Calls. And you chose Dukes of Hazzard, and you were correct.
Okay, sweet.
And it did jump from season to season. It was number 9 the previous season, and it jumped to number 2. Dallas was number 1.
Wow.
Dukes of Hazzard pulled down 27.3. MASH was at 25.7, and House Calls, which I just was like, all right. The reason I put House Calls on there, I was hoping you would be like, it's so wild. Maybe I thought maybe you might pick it. But it was number 8.
The red herring.
Yep. 81 to 82. I gave you 60 Minutes, Alice, and Too Close for Comfort. I do think Too Close for Comfort should have been number 1. Ted Knight's a funny bitch. He just is. Dallas was number 1. 60 Minutes was number 2. You got that one correct. Alice, I do remember watching Alice. Flo.
Yep.
Had her own show for a while.
I can't remember what the hell was that cook's name? He was the
Mel.
name. Mel, that's right, the Navy guy.
And that was actually based on a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alice doesn't live here anymore.
Yeah. Who knew?
Well, yeah, we did, but it's just nobody else does. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, so 82 to 83. The choices I gave you were Dallas, Magnum PI, Simon and Simon. I was rooting for Magnum PI on this one, but Dallas, which you picked, is number 2.
Okay.
60 Minutes was number 1.
Okay.
Number 3 was actually a tie between Magnum PI and MASH.
Oh, okay.
And Simon was
I can't believe
7.
MASH was that high, that late in the...
I know.
Anyway.
It held in there.
I guess.
I think,
Well, it's the only reason they keep making those shows is they get ratings, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sitcoms just don't hold up anymore.
No.
I never watched that 70s show, but I think they recently did like that 90s show on Netflix. I never watched that 70s show. I watched for some reason, just, hell, it's free. Or not free, but, Netflix. I watched 2 seconds, maybe literally 5 minutes of that 90s show. It caused physical pain.
Painful, yeah.
It was. I mean, and I am not exaggerating.
Yes.
I watched it. I'm just like, oh my God.
Total cringe.
I feel like I feel like I have a boot on my neck.
Yes.
I was like,
getting a lava enema.
Terrible. All right. Sitcoms just, they don't hold up.
Anyway, we can save that for the woke Hollywood thing, because they just can't be. They can't be as let's call it risky as they were at some point, Because let's think about Three's Company, right? Because that one obviously was popular. The humor in that was all based on promiscuity, right? It was all based on, oh my gosh, there's one guy living with 2 girls, and like you said, Mr. Roper always thought they were goofing off, whatever. And now, obviously, today that's not funny. It's not, because plenty of that happens.
Right.
But if you wanted to be edgy today, you risk offending.
Right.
Someone for sure, but
even us talking about woke Hollywood, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But But I agree, and but also there were plenty of TV shows that were funny that didn't have to get into the risque. Like we earlier were talking about The Odd Couple, not the movie, but the television show.
Yeah,
there were funny TV shows that were funny. The I Love Lucy show. There's episodes I can watch of that, and I think it's pretty fucking funny, right? But I also think that people are not as clever as they were back then. You know, we live in a world where...
That supports my theory that people are stupid.
People are stupid. Yeah, but Three's Company wasn't funny. No. Not at all.
Yeah. First 3 episodes you ever watched were good, and then after that, it's like, oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, same thing.
In the vast majority of television, there is funny stuff out there. But
not suitable for children.
And also not on network television.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So, all right, so 83 to 84, I think, did we do this one? If not, we'll do it. No, we haven't. I put forward 60 Minutes, The A-Team, and Cagney and Lacey. You said 60 Minutes. Mm-hmm. In retrospect, that's too easy. You got it correct.
Okay.
At 24.2% of the Nelsons.
I don't know, man. Cagney and Lacey. That was a pretty popular show.
Number 10.
Number 10. Really?
Yes,
wow. Okay. And that year.
Yeah.
Did they ever climb above that?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Because you got to think like I'm thinking about. I can't remember the difference between 1981 and 1982. You know, I'm just like.
Well, Dynasty was number 3. Dallas was number 1. So those shows kind of they were on different networks, but similar. That soap opera bullshit. The A-Team was number 4.
Okay.
Kate and Allie was on here.
I pity the fool that beats me in the ratings.
Okay, 84, 85. I threw out there Dallas, The Cosby Show, which I thought you were going to jump on The Cosby Show because it was so popular.
Yeah, but I thought, I would have.
And Family Ties.
Yeah.
But it was neither Family Ties or The Cosby Show. It was Dallas.
Dallas number 2. Huh?
Yeah. And
Dynasty take over?
Yeah. Wow. Look at you.
Wow.
Almost like an expert in shit.
Wow.
Dropping that.
Well, if Dynasty was number 2 the year before, then clearly they didn't drop off the map. So.
Yeah. No, Dynasty was number 3. Yeah. But... No, I'm so shocked. I'm going to have another pause here. That you said, what was that? Let me guess, 25.0? Yes, it was 25.0. That's the weird thing about Dallas is Dallas seems to jump up and down this. That's always in the top 10. Right. But it
depends on who the writers were, right?
I guess.
Who shot JR had to be up there at number 1, because that was massive.
It was huge. Okay, last one, 85 to 86. I think I gave you Family Ties, Murder, She Wrote, and 60 Minutes.
I choose Murder.
You chose Murder, She Wrote, which was a good guess. That was number 3. But Family Ties rose to number 2. And Cosby was number 1 that year.
Okay. So that's why I didn't pick Cosby, because I thought it was more popular.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was number 2. I thought if anything it was number 1.
Yeah, but I didn't give it a number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was... that particular year, it was Dynasty, as you had said.
Okay.
Quite intuitively.
What do you know?
So there you go.
There you go. The non-genius.
Yes. You 40%.
40%.
Still pretty better than I did on the albums.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I think it
was. I don't know either.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
But did you enjoy that?
It was fun. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, that was great, man.
A little bit of nostalgia there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do music this time, but I'm going to hold the other quiz because we were right at, yes, we're right at about 55 minutes.
Okay, good, because I got to pee.
Me and you both. We'll go together.
That's the old
and
man.
again, I got to think about the thing I said. Don't use vote you don't know when we're having sex. I meant like in broadly general terms.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaving it in, but I'm going to regret it. There's a lot of stuff in this one I'm leaving in that I think I'm going to regret.
Whatever. Vodio dope.
What does that even mean?
You got to say it with a New York accent as well.
Well, yeah, Penny Marshall's amazing. But even like Lenny and Squiggy was great characters.
Yeah.
But those shows are so interesting because they become any sitcom, and always, as we say, for another podcast, but they start out strong, and then everybody in the show becomes a caricature of what they were initially.
Yes.
They have to keep getting more and more crazy,
right?
As you go through. Well,
it's hard. I mean, we bag on that, and I'm sure many people do. But if you think about the writers, man, it's really, really difficult.
Sure.
To do any kind of a character arc on a half-hour sitcom. It's you have to have those same characters, and the only way you can make them funnier, so to speak, is to amp up their caricature them. You got to exaggerate their flaws or whatever. Mm-hmm. So as a writer, I have sympathy. It's tough.
Yeah,
so.
And also I think right now in Hollywood, most writers are subpar.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could even talk about shows that are
Well,
season one.
I'll be honest with you. I think most of the good people went over to the gaming industry.
Yeah, or even, I think, we'll get
think about the stories that are in games nowadays. Last of Us, they made a freaking TV show out of that game, and it was actually pretty freaking good.
But I think honestly, I think there's probably plenty of good writers out there, but they're just not getting hired. I think they're looking for certain.
There's that.
Yeah, they're looking for certain things, and and Hollywood is a bubble.
Yep.
And but again, we're talking about these shows from the 70s. Like we can look at like Flow and Three's Company and whatever. The later seasons of MASH. Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah,
they're not.
No, absolutely.
They're not funny. I mean, but you consumed the entertainment you had back then, and it was 3 networks.
Yep, that was it.
All right. Well, anything else?
I don't think so. I got to pee. Did I say that? It's the old man bladder talking.
I think this is either going to be the worst or the best podcast we ever did. All right. So, that's all we have for today. I want to thank you for listening, and you have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
I don't care what anyone says. Punky Brewster was a bitch. Wow. Oh, my God.
This has been an Analog Spectrum production and presentation. We appreciate you listening to our podcast. It means a lot to both me and Doug. As always, we're looking for topic suggestions, folks to interview, and friends to join us on the show. If you can help with any or all of these, go ahead and send a quick note to Analog Spectrum, that's all one word, at gmail.com. Are you curious about our past uploads? Go check out our website. You'll find the link in the description. Finally, for any cast you've enjoyed, please leave a comment and a review. For that last part, it would mean a lot to us if you'd make it 5 stars. And don't forget to share us with your friends and family. Thanks again for taking time out of your busy day and spending time with us. There's nothing better than hanging out with you and all our friends in this crazy Analog Spectrum world.